Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you can hear me well up the back there. I promise, last session of the day, I'm going to be quick, so I won't be taking us through to the final time. We'll give some time for Brandon to come up and entertain us again, or we'll force him to open the bar. So I'm going to be talking about how we have reimagined our information through integrations, and a lot of assistance was provided to us through iCognition, so we're going to talk about them a bit today. So a little bit about what we do and a little bit about me. So I work at the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and this is our role. So we're an independent prosecution authority. I'm not a solicitor. And our main role is to prosecute serious criminal cases in New South Wales courts, and we prosecute on behalf of the people of New South Wales. We have offices all around New South Wales, a few offices in the metro area, and up at Lismore, Wagga, Dubbo, Newcastle, so various places around the state. And my role, I am as the Manager of Applications and Information Management. So I joined the ODPP as the Information Manager, and after a year or so, a few movement changes, and I gained a portfolio of applications. And so, yeah, I'm responsible for information management in the organisation, and I manage the team, the IT team that develops, supports, and maintains all of our applications, all of our software applications. So I'm the technical owner of all of the software applications that we have, which includes our main matter management system and content manager. So I've been with the organisation for 5 years, and I think in that time we've improved our information management compliance. We love the RMAT. We've used it in similar ways, and in the time that we've been there, we've seen our compliance with that, our maturity level grow, which is the place we want to go. So our challenges, much the same as everybody else in here. We have a high volume of records. At the end of the day, we're a legal firm, and solicitors generate a significant number of records. All of our records are considered vital, and we have quite lengthy retention periods on our information, particularly on our matters. So we have to keep this information for quite a significant amount of time. Historically, we've been a physical management records organisation, so lots and lots of boxes. Matter goes into court, generate a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of paper. The legal industry historically is a physical industry as well. There's bits of paper that gets handed up in court. Obviously, COVID was a great time for us. We were able to work digitally. We transitioned to working digitally really well. Unfortunately, when the provisions of COVID were rolled back, everybody went back to the default behaviour, as they were just talking about earlier. So we have the same challenges probably as everybody else. Duplicated information, siloed information, systems that are outdated, that don't talk to each other, practices where, while again, we have people who obey the rules and the laws of New South Wales, default behaviour kicks in, they will find the easiest way to manage their records. They will, store them on their local drives. They would, do all of the things that we know people do. The other main challenge that we had was that our previous matter management system was pretty old, which meant that from an update perspective, it was a long development cycle to make improvements, which was very challenging. So we had a backlog of ideas, the things that people wanted to do. Probably the best thing about it was that application did integrate with a previous version of Content Manager, so it connected in with RM8. The challenge was that when it was put in, all of the metadata that was required to identify and manage the records didn't float through to Content Manager or to Records Manager at the time. It was all sitting in that front end, which meant that when we started to talk about an upgrade, in order to be compliant with our requirements and to actually get the information where we wanted to get it, we needed to do a fair amount of lifting and shifting. And so historically, the records management system has really only operated as a really simple document management repository. So we wanted to change that paradigm and shift it across to a new way of doing things. So through integration, or a couple of years ago, I should say, we embarked on the journey of replacing our legacy system with a new web-based application that was built on the Appian platform. Don't know if anyone's used any Appian platforms. It's a low-code, no-code platform. It's allowed us to generate a whole bunch of new applications, and we've built a pretty complex, robust system there. But at the time, what we wanted to do was we wanted to maintain that integration with Content Manager. And so with the assistance of iCognition, we integrated a whole bunch of new integrations into Content Manager. They helped us, well, they conducted the upgrade for us, installed a new instance of Content Manager. We went through a significant amount of migration and reviews and development of APIs. The team at iCognition were fantastic. At times, it was daily consultation with our developers, working on APIs to make sure that we sent across all the information that we needed to send across, so we could ensure that our information was secure, contextual, all of those things that are required for our state records requirements. So what we had to do was going back through here, just so I know I'm on the right track here. Yeah, so to ensure we have records management compliance, we wanted to leverage as much out-of-the-box functionality as possible. What we didn't want to do was be in the situation where we were before, where we had a whole bunch of customized integrations or customized solutions. And with the assistance of iCognition, leverage a lot of the out-of-the-box functionalities. But what we were able to do was using a solution from iCognition was that we wanted to make sure that we improved, we had to maintain the functionality from our previous application. So the change management was going to be challenging enough anyway, introducing a new web-based application instead of an actual thick client. We wanted to make sure that we were able to assist the organization to change across and come into the new world. So what they did was help us actually implement a solution where we could utilize the out-of-the-box functionality of Content Manager without anyone actually going into Content Manager. So people have talked a lot about records management by stealth. We don't actually have Content Manager deployed to anyone's desktop. The connectivity is done all by APIs. And so what iCognition helped us do was we used one of their products at the time was called RM Workflow. Now it's Ingress Workflow. To utilize the online edit. So we didn't want people having to check out and check in, so people can now edit on the fly. They can generate a document, use the system calls an API, opens up the document in Ingress Workflow. They can make their edits, save it, and it goes back into the application. So what we wanted to do was utilize some of the the words that the occupational therapist, psychologist mentioned today. We needed to break the default. And we knew that if we were going to provision documents into Microsoft Word, that the default behavior would be too strong. People would hit save, they would save it locally, they would start managing things out of the system. So we had to make sure that the default behavior was to get people to save documents back into the system. So yeah, it was really instrumental. We needed to make sure that people were managing the information in the system, and so we really focused on that user experience. So really, iCognition helped us revamp how our records were managed in Content Manager. So we improved our folder structures. They assisted us with some extensive metadata updates and migrations. We had the same problems that I guess everybody else has when we transition from legacy systems. There was duplicate numbers. You think everything's fine, and then you go to run an import or you go to run a migration, and sure enough, no, that document number exists. And it's like, start again. Where is it? What happened? Number structures changed. So all the same problems that everybody had. But yeah, with the assistance of iCognition, we got it to where we want it to be. And most importantly, at the moment now, all of the record keeping compliance requirements have satisfied, and really people are complying with the requirements of the State Records Act with minimal and often no actual interaction from people. So sentencing on creation, we don't have anything that resembles any business classification scheme. It said sentencing on creation, automatic folder creation, documents are being saved in, emails are being saved in the system automatically every day. In the thousands, emails are hitting the system, and not one person is dragging and dropping anything into Content Manager. So what are our next steps? Obviously, love the Z on the end there. Continuous improvement so we can update and optimize efficiency. So in our matter management system, we run an agile development process. So we are constantly doing, I think now we're on a 4-week development cycle. So we're releasing new versions of our matter management system every 4 weeks. So we are constantly doing development in there. Since we've been live, which is just coming on 2 years, we've implemented 5 new applications on our Appian platform. And we're in the process of making sure that every one of those applications utilize the same connectivity and the same integration with that our matter management system does. So automatic integration, records are being saved into the content management system. So all of our new systems will comply with our records management requirements. Obviously, we continually have to make sure that as we're making changes, we're doing user training and adoption strategies, and we're now starting to monitor the compliance, even though we have been and we know we comply with the records management requirements as we put in new systems, making sure that they comply. The other bit that's not on there from a purely IT perspective is the buzzword that everyone's talking about, AI. We're also moving into the AI space. We developed our AI strategy in the last financial year, and we're currently running a couple of proof of concepts so we can implement and start to utilize AI. We have some challenges in the legal space. There are challenges with AI being involved in the development and the production of legal material. So we will make sure that the AI will not be generating documents, so there will no be hallucinations and making up cases or anything like that. So yeah, we have to make sure that we're using AI ethically, responsibly, and those sort of things. And I guess I'd just like to end, so I am going to go very quick. I just need to put on the glass of the goggles so I can see. Keeping in theme keeping on track with the theme here today, I started to think about information reimagined, and I was trying to think about how that applies in our world. And so as I started to think about it, information reimagined is about looking at information through a different lens, or approaching it from a different or an unconventional angle. But in my organisation, the information is what it is. We have to deal with facts. We have to deal with the actual details that have occurred. So it's very difficult to reimagine the information. So in our organisation, we're approaching this by reimagining how we can actually make the information available to our staff. And we're doing that through integration of information so that a complete story is known, and it's known far quicker, and it's more easier for our staff to actually understand the complete story and not a fragmented one. So on that note, I'd like to thank you all. I hope you've had a great day. The sessions have been really good. Thank you for your time.